Hi, Phil. How are
Hey,
you?
Saida, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Welcome to Ask a Bitcoiner 21
Awesome.
questions.
Pumped to be here.
So, yeah, I'm so happy that you agreed to answer 21 questions. Before we get to them, can you introduce yourself to the audience? So, what you do in the Bitcoin space and where people can find you on social media?
Sure. My name is Phil. I'm a high school math educator. I've been doing that for 10 years. I'm NEEDCreations on Twitter and the other socials. And, I'm a node runner. I'm a home miner, Bitcoin educator. Been a Bitcoin maxi for almost 4 years now. So time is flying
Yeah.
by. And yeah, I'm just here to keep learning and to spread the good word of Bitcoin.
Yeah, and to teach others as
Yes.
well. Okay, so the goal is to get through 21 questions in 10 minutes. That is the
All right.
goal, not always possible. And I sent you the questions ahead of time, which you
Mm-hmm.
saw, but I swapped out one question for a surprise question. So you're not totally prepared.
Gotcha. Okay. Look
Are you
forward
ready?
to that question. Sure.
Easy peasy for you. So I'm going to start the timer and go. Here we go. First question. Give 3 tips to people who want to open a Lightning channel for the first time.
All right. So it's a great question. I would say grow your network as much as possible. Reach out on Twitter and find those Telegram groups. Find those Lightning Telegram groups. Find the Bitcoin education discords like my Discord. Um, and just find other node runners before you do anything, I would say, and educate yourself and just have that team behind you that, because not everyone's available all the time, but if you have a network of
Yeah.
10 or 15 people that you can DM, one of them's going to get back to you relatively quickly, so you'll always have help. For myself, I'm not the most technical person, so I have a huge network that I've grown over the last 4 years of people way smarter than me, at least in like the coding scene, which, Bitcoin Lightning it's still in beta, it's still new, so, that's my other tip is,
Yeah.
basically don't put in money that you can't afford to lose, because it's still pretty new. And things could go wrong. You never know, or you could mess up somehow, or a lot. Most of it is pretty safe and tested, but again, it's still in beta. So grow that network. Don't put in more funds than you're willing to lose, and I would say just have fun with it. Just experiment, and it's pretty exhilarating. Like routing transactions through your node, like you're literally like um your own banker. You're like you're for your own network of peers. You're providing, financial services in some way, although it might not be it might
Contentious.
not be the best thing to promote considering all the stuff that's going around right now with the government coming after us for providing financial services. That's just it's Bitcoin, so if that's my tips. Yeah.
Yeah, good tips. Next question. What is your favorite Gigi project? So it could be a book, blog, entry, or educational resource or something else.
Yeah, so I was introduced to Dear Gigi just through my own research, and I stumbled upon 21 Lessons, which was one of his first large pieces of Bitcoin content.
Yeah.
Basically, just 21 articles. They're kind of deeper thinking into Bitcoin about the concepts of like what Bitcoin really represents. It's not like a technical thing about Bitcoin, or but it's kind of philosophical and kind of the implications behind Bitcoin. So I really enjoyed that 21 Lessons.
Yeah, totally deep. Next question. Ossification or does Bitcoin need to change?
I'm definitely very anti-ossification. I think it's very premature and naive to think that we need to ossify. I get, like, especially people like Sailor starting to promote this, like, we don't need to change the base layer. Like, yes, the base layer is really near perfect, but it would be silly, in my opinion, to ossify because you never know what's going to happen in the future. Already, we're seeing like turmoil in the ecosystem with with, people are calling for this BIP or that BIP. We need to figure out, we need to do this. We need to get covenants. We need, like, because things are accelerating in terms of, like, now they fight you stage, which is where we are. And you never know what needs to be changed or what's going to hit us in the future in terms of attacks on Bitcoin. We had the Taproot upgrade and before that SegWit, and the combination of those two upgrades led to, call them what you want, but the degenerates doing ordinals and all this stuff. It made it very easy to do something like this. And if I don't know if most people think it's an attack, some people think it's just playing around, but it is kind of doing some negative things for Bitcoin, and that was an unforeseen consequence of those upgrades. So maybe these things can be fixed in future upgrades, or so again, you never know what's going to come down the line. So I don't think, like, ossifying and saying we're not going to make any changes from now on is a smart thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. What would we be surprised to know about you?
Well, I thought about this question. I'm pretty open and out there, even to complete strangers on the internet. I'm not. I don't shy away from, like, talking about my weaknesses or my struggles or anything, any of my things that have been wrong in my life. I like sharing my experiences to see if I can help someone else if anyone's going through something similar. So honestly, it's I couldn't really think of anything to surprise anyone. One cool fact about me is I used to play competitive baseball, and I played overseas for a few summers.
Oh, nice.
And I hit a home run. My only home run over the fence was against Team Poland. I was playing for Team USA on this program, and I hit a home run against Team Poland. So that's a fun fact. And then also, I just wanted to throw out a pitch, or a shameless plug for, I'm going to be boxing someone on Twitter in Nashville. So that's something that
In real life,
in real
or?
life, yeah, like a real boxing match, just like
Oh,
an
sweet.
amateur bout. So I'm starting to prepare for that. His name's Amish. He's part of the TEM group, and it's just going to be for fun. We're trying to get more people to fight. So if you post this, maybe someone seeing it will want to join the amateur fights in Nashville coming up in July. So I just wanted to plug that too.
I will post this. Okay, nice. I'll
Yeah,
post this. Next question. Have we entered the then they fight you stage in Bitcoin? And I think you answered that.
definitely. Yeah, I think it's here. I think it's gonna get a lot crazier. I wouldn't underestimate the attacks we're gonna see. Just a couple of years ago, I was under the impression that the government couldn't do anything. My one of my good friends, my IRL friend, he goes by Astro on Twitter. He was kind of making fun of me, saying, "Oh, remember when you used to say, like, Bitcoin is, like, gonna
Yeah.
win no matter what? The government can't do anything." I was like, "Yeah, well, I'll admit I was pretty naive about that. Like, they're not going to give up their position of control, without a huge fight. So we have to keep working on Bitcoin. We have to keep educating and building." So, yeah.
Yep. Yep. I 100% agree. What is your favorite thing about going to a Bitcoin meetup or conference?
Just meeting Bitcoiners. It's amazing. Sometimes people FUD these conferences and things like, "Oh, why would you spend money on this, bro?" Like, "Oh, bad OPSEC, bro." Like, come on. Like, you got to live your life. Get out there, meet Bitcoiners. You'll have a good time,
Hmm.
I promise you. Like, people are missing out if they don't go to meetups and conferences. It's an amazing time. Like, growing your network and just seeing what other people are doing and meeting them in real life. And everyone's always so happy and positive, especially, like, during the bull runs. Everyone's just, like, on cloud nine. But even during the bear markets, like, everyone's just working on something. And it's cool just to network, and people come to my
Yep.
meetups. I have meetups every month in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, and I meet new people every time. People are doing their first Lightning transactions with us, and we get new people. We get OGs that were mining Bitcoin in 2014, 2013. So you never know who you're going to meet. It's really great. So I definitely recommend anyone watching to go to a meetup, or if you don't have a meetup near you, start one and DM me and I'll share
Yep.
it out, and we'll get people to come to your meetup.
Oh, that's nice. Who orange pilled you?
Yeah, so Andreas Antonopoulos, his Internet of Money series, I watched most of it, and there was one specific video. It's on YouTube. It's called "What is Bitcoin and Why Does It Matter?" It's like 32 minutes long. It was like it blew my mind, and I sold everything I owned, besides the little Bitcoin I had, and just put it all into Bitcoin. So I went all in on Bitcoin after I
Oh,
watched that
wow.
video. It was like amazing.
I'll add a link to
Yeah,
that
it's a good video.
in the
I
details.
watch it
I
every now
love
and then
Andreas
whenever
too.
there's crazy FUD or I mean I don't lose faith in Bitcoin much these days, but anytime there's like a rough day or something, I just rewatch that video and it's really good.
Yep. Name one project that isn't FOSS, but you still respect it.
Yeah, that's a great question. I wish I had a better answer for this. I just I'm not sure, but I was just gonna say Twitter, X,
Yeah,
um, because
fair.
I like what Elon's doing. I think Elon is a good guy deep down and is doing good things for free speech on that platform. And I think there's a reason
Yeah.
he's so popular and why his ideas are proliferate and gets so much backing because I think he's just good for humanity and I'm glad that he's at the helm of X and I really like that platform. I learn a lot. I learn everything about world news and Bitcoin and anything on there and I like growing
Uh,
my network as well.
that's the timer.
Okay. That's
We
10
didn't
minutes
do the
already.
10 minutes. It's all
Oh my
good.
God. That's
Yeah, it goes
crazy.
quickly, doesn't
That's
it?
crazy. I could speed
Yeah.
up maybe.
Oh no, it's okay. Difficulty adjustment. Um, yeah, I'm just not sure about all the bots on X. Like I'll have plus 100 followers and then 2 days later minus 100
Yeah.
followers. I
The other day, I know Elon tweeted out that he was purging the bots, and I think I lost 300 followers. So I think those were all bots, like shortly after that.
yeah,
So I know, like it's going to be a never-ending battle between with that kind of stuff with the bots. Like they're always going to find new ways to game the system. So
yeah. Okay, so if you could orange pill one person, who would it be?
that would be my dad. Definitely my dad. Um,
Oh,
just because he's head of my family and he's got a lot of savings from his whole life in fiat and he's a hard worker. He's still working even when he's retired. He's still doing work for his old company. He's been with the same company, straight out of college for I don't know, maybe 40 years now or something. So
oh
he's an
my
electrical
God, that's
engineer. He
amazing.
makes ultrasounds, and he deserves to have savings in Bitcoin. But he's just his the hump to get over with him is the volatility. He just thinks at his age, and he's not that old. He's like barely 60, and um, he just can't stomach the volatility. And but he tells me straight up, I hope you do well with Bitcoin. I wish you well with Bitcoin. So he he listens to me. I don't annoy him too much with it anymore. But I wish he would. I think he's even read the Bitcoin Standard on it. I think I gave it to him to read, but he still is just can't stomach the volatility. So he's very
Yeah,
very
maybe
conservative,
one
very
day.
conservative stuff.
That's sweet though.
Yeah.
I find Bitcoiners are very much into family.
Mm,
Well, I shouldn't generalize, but the Bitcoiners I've encountered are very much into family.
definitely, yeah. And
Okay,
And
next
Bitcoiners are
question.
starting
Uh,
families. There's within the past 2 or 3 months, you see all these newborn, newly minted Bitcoiners. All these Bitcoiners having kids. It's great. And I saw a post the other day. It was like the fiat world, like on TikTok, like there are these couples that are like promoting the Dink lifehood, dual income, no kids, dual income, no kids. And someone asked me
yeah.
like, "What's a Dink?" And I'm like, and I had to explain it. And Bitcoiners just want to have kids. And same with like Elon. Back to Elon, like he wants to have kids. Like he's popularizing.
Doesn't he already have like a million
He wants
kids?
to have more, I think, because he's popularizing like the population collapse, which is imminent in many countries like Japan, USA. Like the birth rate is below the replacement level, so that's more of a threat than overpopulation at this point. So that narrative needs to change. And For the record, I want kids too, but
Mm.
I'm currently single and just working on myself. But I do want kids, so if anyone's out there,
Ladies, ladies,
yeah.
he's super smart, very funny, nice guy.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I still have actually I should repost the what was it on TikTok, duet, Twitch, something we did. I forget the TikTok
Yeah, with
terminology with the
the
books.
books. Yeah, that was a great. That was like the first duet that anyone did with my content. That was really cool.
Yeah, I'll repost it.
Cool.
Okay, which areas of your life have been most impacted since learning about Bitcoin?
I'd say my knowledge of history has really improved. I used
Oh,
to hate history learning it in high school. I used to
yeah.
barely pay attention just to get a good grade. I did enough to get a good grade, but I didn't like learning about history. I didn't see the importance of it. That's one thing, and I love learning about history now. And for instance, I just watched the Cypherpunk's Write Code documentary. That's another good one. I watched it last night on YouTube. It was amazing learning about that movement, learning more about that movement. And also another thing that has changed significantly, or however you phrase the question, would be my health. Just working on my health, getting back
Yeah.
into um, a healthy, weight and just stature, just feeling better about myself. And I'm doing really good. I'm working hard. I'm doing a lot of different things, walking, going to the gym, and um, I'm a lot better now than when during like quarantine, COVID was like I was really unhealthy. And
That was rough for
oh
everyone.
yeah, for sure. But it was, it compounded many years of not doing good things for my body. So I'm doing much better now.
And now you're gonna box.
What's that?
I said, and now you're gonna
Oh,
box.
right.
You're in a
Yeah. Yeah.
boxing
I keep
match.
taking on these challenges. I just finished Oliver. He's a YouTuber, Bitcoiner. He put out a walking challenge. I'm not sure if you saw me posting about this, but
No, I
yeah.
did not. I saw you post your walking, but I didn't
Yeah.
know it
It
was a
was a challenge
challenge.
to do 14,000 steps a day for 17 straight days in front of the halving. So I did that. I actually accomplished that and I was really proud of myself. And it was a lot easier than I thought it would be, but you definitely need to like map out time to do it. Like there were some days when I was super busy,
Yeah.
like I was just walking around the room just trying to get the steps in. Like you have to really dedicate
Yep.
yourself to it. But it was, it was great. It was a great challenge and I learned a lot about myself and it was great. It was motivating. Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Okay, so Jeremy says, and I know that your Discord channel is fire. How long did it take you to put it together?
Yeah, we're coming up on the oh, okay, we still there? Yeah. We're coming up on the
Yeah.
3-year anniversary of the Discord. And it's great. I still add to it most days. There was a time where I was beefing it up every single day, as much content as I could. I estimate there's probably like 50 to 100,000 hours of like organized research in there if you're looking for anything in terms of like just hours of
Whoa.
podcasts and videos and articles. And if you digest it all, it's infinite amount of stuff. There's memes, whatever you want to learn. Home mining, node running. You want to learn about the cypherpunks, history of Satoshi, history of Bitcoin. Um, there's discussions in Bitcoin channels, Lightning channels, Nostr, and tools to use in Bitcoin, self sovereignty tools, privacy tools, anything in Bitcoin I put there, and it's great. I mean, it's not the most active Discord. Some people are used to like crazy daily active users in their servers. There's not too many. There's a lot of lurkers in our server. People that just read things and don't engage. But I know that for a fact. I actually poached a lot of new members over the years from this crypto server. So I went into this like crypto like pump and dump like degenerate server, and I started like I somehow got like at first I was just posting a link to my server and I got banned, like temporarily banned, but then I came back and I just asked for permission. I said, "Can I post this here?" And I got permission. And so a lot of the users were coming into my Discord and they're all like crypto meme coin degens, like so they're learning about Bitcoin through my server, and that's that's great. That's what I wanted it for. So, and I also just wanted it for myself to like find things. For instance,
Yeah.
I know a question coming up is what's your favorite meme, right? So I can jump to that right now. When
Yeah, if it comes up, I'll
yeah,
disregard it. What's your
for
favorite meme?
example, when Sailor, a year or two ago, put that the lightning meme competition. Do you recall this? What? Yeah,
Yes, and I think
yeah, I
you
was one of the
won.
yeah. So he said, someone made fun of him and said, "Oh, I bet sailors never use lightning." So Sailor put this competition, post a lightning meme and I'll send 1,000,000 sats to the top 3 liked lightning memes in the replies. So all I did, I knew I had a bunch of them, and I went to my Discord server and I literally typed in lightning meme, and there was like 10 of them that popped up that I had saved over the years. And so I found a few of them. I posted all of them in Sailor's replies, and one of them did really well, and that got me the 1,000,000 sats. It was my, and so that would obviously be my favorite meme since it won me 1,000,000 sats. It was the Usain Bolt sprinting ahead of 3 runners. He's
Yeah,
like a few steps ahead of a few runners, and they're labeled as Zelle, Venmo, and PayPal. And Usain Bolt is the Lightning Network, so that's the meme. Yeah, so that would be my favorite
nice.
meme.
Ladies, he also has at least a
Oh
million
my god, I'm
sats.
doxxed. Doxed my
At
stack.
least.
No, I sold it all. I lost it all. And now it's all gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone.
Sorry, ladies. Okay, will the Fed ever hit 2% inflation?
No, we can move on from that question. No. We can go right past that one. No.
Just like Jeremy, he was like, no,
Oh,
next.
really? No.
Uh, yeah. Okay, is 1 Bitcoin enough?
So you got that from my poll that I posted? Is that where you saw that? Or yeah, I
Perhaps.
posted a poll.
I think,
I
yeah,
love posting polls on
yeah,
Twitter,
yeah.
and one of them was recently, is 1 Bitcoin enough? And like some of the people were replying like, enough for what? Like, oh, you got to be more specific. I'm like, bro, just answer the question. Is it enough for you? The results were 50-50 or like 49-51, like yes or no. So it was a really interesting poll. And for me, I would say 1 Bitcoin is enough for me. So I would say yes, that is enough for me. I think would it be enough for everyone? It's very situational. Like I'm not sure, but
Mm,
um, yeah, I think 1 is enough for me. Am
one
I
is
happy with
enough.
1? Am I at
Um,
1? Am I happy with 1? I'm not gonna reveal that, but I don't think I'm happy with 1. I think if I got 1, I would want more than 1. If I got 2, I would want more than 2. If I got 10, I would. You always want more, and that's
you
most
always,
Bitcoiners can relate to that.
yeah. And then you lose it all, and then you're
And
humbled
then you
and
got to
you
start over,
realize
right?
that,
Like you lose your
yeah,
keys, and then you got to start over. It's just part of being a Bitcoiner.
every
Yeah.
day. Yeah. Okay, what's the difference between proof of work and proof of stake in one word?
I thought about this for a while, and I'm gonna go with integrity. Integrity.
Oh, I did not see that
Yeah,
coming.
because
Well
do I
done.
have should I explain or okay?
Yeah, of course, if you
Yeah,
want
so
to.
just being truthful and honest, and proof of work is a real thing that you have to use energy to to beat the difficulty adjustment, and to win that Bitcoin, you have to expend energy. It's a real life thing that connects the digital world to the
Mm.
physical world. And, proof of stake is kind of an unfair system where, if you own a lot of coins, you have more power in that system. It's not really a fair system. It's not really just. So I just think proof of work in Bitcoin is true, honest, integrity work, and just a more real thing that I can get down with.
Yeah, like proof of stake is kind of like a copy paste of what
The
we
fiat world,
already
yeah.
experience.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep. Okay, who is your all-time favorite DJ, band, or singer?
When I saw this question, I had to go back and readjust the question of who would I want to orange pill, because I originally said this person is who I'd want to
Ah,
orange pill, but I didn't want to use them for both questions. So the answer to this question, my favorite DJ is Skrillex. I would also like to orange pill him because
mm-hmm.
I just think that would be amazing to get the whole EDM community on board with Bitcoin, and all it would take would be for Skrillex to say, I want my next festival payment in Bitcoin, and then I know all the EDM podcasters, and I could help them. I could go on all their shows and be their Bitcoin guy, like the liaison between Bitcoin and the EDM world. And yeah, I would love. My favorite DJ is Skrillex, and I would really want to orange pill him. You know, in Miami 2021, I met a few DJs. I ended up getting lucky and getting a
Yeah.
backstage pass, and I met San Holo and Apache and a few others. And I only had a few minutes with San Holo, but I met him and I was trying to orange pill him, and he didn't understand the difference, the significance between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I was trying to say, you know, you should get rid of your Ethereum and go all in on Bitcoin. And so yeah, that was they're just so busy with touring, and they don't have a
Yeah.
lot of time to learn about Bitcoin. So I was trying to do my best, but
Well, maybe they'll see this. I don't
maybe,
know.
yeah.
Uh, okay, next question. How does the Poisson distribution, how does the Poisson distribution apply to Bitcoin?
So
Do you pronounce it Poisson or
I don't
like a
even, I
different
don't
way?
know. I don't know. Poisson or Poisson. I think it's Poisson, but I'm not positive.
Poisson is in you would pronounce it Poisson in French, but I wasn't sure like
I didn't
how
look up.
you would pronounce it in
The name was
English.
probably taken from like a French mathematician or something. I'm not positive though.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't. I honestly never taught this field, like this branch of statistics, but so I'm not too familiar with it. But I don't know why you thought of this question. Is it just because I'm like a math teacher? Like this question really surprised
Well,
me.
yeah,
But yeah,
and also, oh, go
well,
ahead.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
just, I looked into it a little bit more, and and it's crazy too, because I was like, this blew my mind. Like the other night, I went to Boston Bit Devs, and Jameson Lopp
Hmm.
was a guest speaker
Oh,
there,
wow.
and he brought up the Poisson distribution of block times, and I was like,
Hmm.
this is,
Every 10
and this was
minutes.
like a couple days after you had emailed me the questions. I'm like, what are the chances this comes up right now? But yeah, so it has to do with basically like, just an example, like 90% of blocks come out between 9 and 11 minutes. I made that up off the top of my head, but maybe it's true. Most blocks come out between 9 and 11 minutes because the average is 10 minutes. And then maybe like the next distribution would be like, 10% of blocks come, after 11 minutes. So, it's just a statistical distribution that is used to, predict how many times something happens within a set amount of time. That's the best way I can explain it. So there's relevance in Bitcoin to blocks coming out, also
Yeah.
transactions in a block. So there's many ways to think about this branch of statistics with Bitcoin. I'm not like the expert on that. I just know if you want to dive into it further, there's a lot more you can learn about that.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, that was a
Cool.
cool question. It
Hey.
surprised me.
Yeah. You're welcome. Okay, so you speak openly about your faith. Has Bitcoin influenced your faith in any particular way?
Oh, I'd say definitely it has. Um, I mean, I started a Christian Bitcoiner DM group in Twitter. If anyone listening wants to get in on that, we have like 43 people in there now.
Oh, nice.
They were either Bitcoiners who became Christians or Christians who became Bitcoiners, or both, like at the same time. Like I have seen, and I'm not just saying this, but I have seen dozens of people over the past 2 years either tell me, or I've seen in their posts, that they were either atheists or they were some other denomination, and they became Christian Jesus lovers after discovering Bitcoin. I won't name any names or anything, but this is a real thing that is happening, and I think it's pretty cool. And a great person to follow on Twitter is Pastor Coin, at Pastor Coin. He is a real life pastor, and he actually wrote a book called The Bible and Bitcoin, and it's a short book. I read
Hmm.
it. It's really great. And it ties in real Bible verses to core philosophies in Bitcoin. And I'm not the only one to say this, but Jesus is a Bitcoiner. Jesus is definitely a Bitcoiner. Just look up the story of him flipping the money changer tables. It's in the Bible, and he wasn't a big fan of unjust money. And that is what fiat is. Unjust money. Inaccurate balances and scales. It's another verse in the Bible. I'm not like great on my Bible verse, like knowing which number it is, which chapter. But if you just Google unjust scales in the Bible, it's exactly talking about like fiat as a measuring stick versus Bitcoin as a measuring stick. Like Bitcoin is the accurate scale to measure value.
My mom is super Christian, so I'm going to use that when I speak to her about Bitcoin the next time. Thank you.
And I mean, I would recommend if you're trying to get your mom orange pilled, I would look into getting that book. I can give you a copy next time I see you. I bought a bunch of copies.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah. I'll send it to her. She'll be surprised. Oh, okay. Next question. What is or what was the most mind-blowing thing you learned about Bitcoin?
Great question. I would say just coming to the realization that Bitcoin can't be stopped. It can't be shut down because of the decentralized nature where it's being run on thousands of computers worldwide, distributed across every single country on planet Earth. So it's impossible to shut down. Even if they shut off the internet in half the world, even if nuclear war wiped out 2/3 of the world, one of the only things that would still be running is Bitcoin. And if someone was able to destroy every single computer at the same exact time, or if an EMP or a solar flare wiped out the entire electricity in the globe, Bitcoin would still survive. Like as soon as the first node came back online, Bitcoin's back, and it would just start where it left off.
Yeah.
It would just continue. You could only pause it, really. Unlikely that it would be paused at all. Like it has a 99.99% uptime. The last time it was down was in 2013, I think, and it was only down for like an hour. Since then, it's had perfect uptime. So, that just blew my mind. Once you realize that it can't be stopped.
Next question. Who decides which blocks are valid? Miners, developers, or nodes, users?
So miners build the blocks, but it's nodes who validate them and make sure that all the transactions are legit and they're not being double spent. So I would say nodes.
Yep. I would say the same thing.
Did I get it right?
And the last question. Yeah, well, I think so, but I mean, I'm not an expert. Last question. Which country would you most like to visit?
Switzerland, so I could see you.
And you can come to one of our meetups.
Yes, I would love to. But also
first Wednesday of the month.
Nice. Okay. Man, maybe this summer break. But also, I would like to go to Belgium because I want to attend Tomorrowland, which is like the biggest electronic dance music festival in the world. So when I become financially independent and stable, and when I'm done fiat mining, I want to travel the world and go to as many festivals as I can. And one of my first stops will be Belgium for Tomorrowland. I got to go to Italy too. I got to shout out Italy because that's my heritage, and I've never been there either. And I want to see the history and all the. Speaking of like Christian faith, there's a lot of cool things to see in Italy and Rome. And I would love to see that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country. I've been to the Vatican. I've been to Rome. Venice is gorgeous as well. Beautiful country.
Nice, yeah. I love traveling, so anywhere. I love just exploring, so I have to see all that stuff.
Most definitely. And that's it. 21 questions are up.
All right.
Okay. In 34 minutes and 50 seconds.
That's not bad.
Thank you so much for being on, Phil.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.